General Hospital, Monday, December 2 sneak peek. Laura reacts to Lulu's awakening. Lucky delivers shocking news. General Hospital, GH. Spoilers reveal that a new sneak peek video has been released for the episode that'll air Monday, December 2. That's when Laura Collins, Jenny Francis, will get updates on Lulu Spencer's Alexa Havens pruning, coma awakening, so let's talk about how it'll all go down. GH fans know Laura has been dealing with some city emergencies, so the staff at Turning Woods wasn't able to get in touch with her. It was Lucky Spencer, Jonathan Jackson, who got the call about Lulu going missing from the facility instead. Of course, that led to Lucky watching the security footage and witnessing for himself that Lulu is no longer comatose. Lulu could be seen sneaking out of Turning Woods, so now Lucky must be wondering about his sister's motives. Regardless, Lucky obviously has to fill Laura in on all this, so he'll head over to her place and find her doing some late-night work with a staff member named Darcy. Lucky will ask for a moment alone with Laura, so that'll give him a chance to reveal that Lulu is awake. Laura can be seen gaping in shock and ultimately smiling over the news in the sneak peek clip. This is a happy surprise, but you can bet Laura's going to have plenty of questions, especially once she finds out Lulu escaped from Turning Woods and is now on the loose. The sneak peek video only offers Laura's initial reaction, but Monday's preview video, the one that followed Friday's cliffhanger, provides a little more info. It lets us know Laura's going to pick up on the fact that Lulu believes she was in danger. Since Lucky is still fuming over Cyrus Renault, Jeff Cover, visiting Lulu, he'll undoubtedly blame Laura's twisted half-brother. Lucky may offer a warning about the threat Cyrus still poses and suggest Lulu was probably running from him. Based on our predictions, Lucky's feud with Cyrus could get even worse and lead to much more drama, so stay tuned for all the escalating family conflict. In the meantime, General Hospital spoilers say Laura and Lucky will get the reunion they've been waiting for once they find out Lulu's at the Quartermain mansion. The halls of General Hospital buzzed with an energy that hadn't been felt in years. Doctors and nurses moved with purpose, yet their faces betrayed a mix of anxiety and anticipation. A life-changing day was unfolding, and at its center was Lulu Spencer, who was finally emerging from a years-long coma. Laura Collins stood at her daughter's bedside, her hand trembling as it hovered over Lulu's. Her eyes brimmed with tears as she watched the subtle movement of Lulu's fingers. The doctors had warned her to temper her expectations. Recovery from such a long coma was unpredictable. Yet in Laura's heart, she knew this moment was nothing short of a miracle. "Mom?" Lulu's voice cracked, faint but unmistakable. Laura gasped, her heart leaping. She leaned forward, gently clasping Lulu's hand. "Lulu, sweetheart, I'm here. It's Mom." Lulu's eyelids fluttered open, revealing her familiar, piercing blue eyes. Confusion clouded her gaze as she took in the sterile hospital room. "Where am I?" Tears spilled down Laura's cheeks as she stroked Lulu's hair. "You're at General Hospital, honey. You've been asleep for a long time." Before Laura could elaborate, the door swung open and Dante Falconeri appeared, his face a mixture of hope and fear. He froze, his breath catching in his throat as he saw Lulu awake. "Lulu," Dante whispered, stepping closer. She turned her head toward him, her brows furrowing as she struggled to piece together the fragmented memories in her mind. "Dante." Laura stepped aside, giving them space as Dante knelt beside the bed. He took Lulu's hand in his voice breaking. "It's me, Lou. I've been waiting for this day for so long." The room filled with an emotional silence as Lulu studied Dan's face. Recognition flickered in her eyes, followed by a tearful smile. "I missed you." Dante kissed her hand, his relief palpable. "I missed you more than you can imagine." The reunion was bittersweet, though, as Laura's phone buzzed in her pocket. She glanced at the screen and saw a text from Lucky Spencer. "I'm here. We need to talk." Laura's stomach tightened. Lucky's arrival in Port Charles was unexpected, and the urgency in his message hinted at something serious. Minutes later, Laura met Lucky in the hospital's rooftop garden. The winter air was crisp, and the city skyline stretched out before them. Lucky stood near the railing, his hands shoved into his coat pockets, his expression grave. "Lucky," Laura began, her voice tinged with concern. "What's going on? You said it was urgent." He turned to face her, his blue eyes shadowed with worry. "Mom, I'm glad Lulu's awake. That's the best news we could have hoped for." But he hesitated, his jaw tightening. "But what?" Laura pressed, her heart sinking. Lucky exhaled deeply. "It's Dad. I found him." Laura's breath hitched. "Luke? Where is he?" "In Amsterdam," Lucky said, his voice low. He's not doing well, Mom. He's been in and out of trouble, and his health is failing. He doesn't have much time left." Laura's legs felt weak, and she clutched the railing for support. Memories of Luke Spencer flooded her mind, his charisma, his flaws, their tumultuous history. Despite everything, he was a part of her, and the news of his decline hit her like a punch to the gut. "Does Lulu know?" Laura asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Lucky shook his head. "No, and I don't know if we should tell her. She's just waking up. She doesn't need this kind of stress right now." Laura nodded, though her thoughts were racing. How could they shield Lulu from this when Luke's condition could become critical at any moment? Back in Lulu's room, the mood was lighter as Dante helped her sip water and adjust to being awake. They talked in hushed tones, her voice gradually gaining strength. "I feel like I've been dreaming," Lulu said, her brow furrowed. "But there are gaps, like something's missing." Dante hesitated. He wanted to protect her, but he knew she'd eventually ask the hard questions. "A lot has happened while you were asleep," he admitted. Lulu tilted her head, curiosity and apprehension dancing in her eyes. "Like what?" Before Dante could answer, Laura returned, her face a carefully composed mask. She couldn't let Lulu see the storm brewing inside her. "How's my girl?" Laura asked, forcing a smile. Lulu beamed at her mother. "Better now that I'm not alone in my own head." Laura chuckled softly, sitting on the edge of the bed. She brushed a strand of hair from Lulu's face. "You've always been a fighter. I knew you'd come back to us." "Mom," Lulu said, her tone shifting to seriousness. "What's going on? I can tell you're holding something back." Laura hesitated, her mind racing for the right words. She couldn't burden Lulu with the truth about Luke, not yet. "It's just overwhelming, seeing you awake. We've all missed you so much." Lulu studied her mother's face, sensing there was more to the story, but choosing not to press, at least for now. Meanwhile, Lucky found himself in the hospital's chapel, seeking solace in the quiet space. He hadn't prayed in years, but today he felt the weight of his family's troubles pressing down on him. "Hey, Dad," he muttered under his breath, his hands clasped together. "I don't know if you can hear me or if you even care. But if there's any part of you left that still loves us, hold on a little longer. Lulu needs you." The chapel door creaked open, and Elizabeth Weber stepped inside. She paused when she saw Lucky, her expression softening. "Lucky," she said gently. "I heard you were back." He turned to her, surprised but grateful for the familiar face. "Liz, I didn't think I'd run into you here." She sat beside him, her gaze filled with empathy. "You look like you're carrying the weight of the world." He chuckled bitterly. Feels that way. Lulu's awake, but Dad, he's not in good shape. Elizabeth placed a comforting hand on his shoulder. If anyone can hold this family together, it's you. You've always been the glue, Lucky. He smiled faintly, appreciating her faith in him even as he doubted himself. As the day unfolded, the Spencer family grappled with the balance of joy and sorrow. Lulu's awakening was a beacon of hope, but the shadow of Luke's declining health loomed large. For Laura, the challenge was clear. Protect Lulu's fragile recovery while preparing her for the difficult truths that lay ahead. For Lucky, it was a race against time to bring his father back into the fold before it was too late. And for Lulu, the road to rediscovering herself had just begun. Unbeknownst to her, the Spencer family's legacy, its triumphs, heartbreaks, and secrets, was about to pull her back into the heart of Port Charles' most dramatic saga. Monday's episode promised to be one for the ages, filled with emotional reunions, shocking revelations, and the kind of suspense that only General Hospital could deliver.